Culbertson is with us today, and Amanda is the social media coordinator for Super Shoes, who's just opening a store over here in Martinsburg, headquartered, Amanda tells me, in Hagerstown. Amanda is did you grow up? She lives in Martinsburg. Did you grow up
in Hagerstown?
In Hagerstown. Mm-hmm. So, and Super Shoes, Amanda tells me, is a chain. They have stores from all along the East Coast down into the Mid-Atlantic. So she brings retail experience regionally, locally, and most interesting to me, the social media part, which is the coolest part. And if you want to, you can follow Amanda. Actually, I just followed her on Twitter. And she tells me that she's actually tweeted already today that she's speaking today. So without further ado, Amanda Culbertson.
Hello. Yeah. Like Rob said, I work in social media, so I'm pretty excited to be here. A few things to talk about, things that hopefully are interesting to you. I watched the past few City Club meetings on YouTube this week, so I tried to kind of brush up on what I need to speak on. So I wanted to give a little history of Super Shoes. There's not really a very solid history timeline of where it started, but the earliest picture we have is 1907 up in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. It was the opening day, and the Super Shoes started out as like a really like a cut rate shoe store where they sold like 99-cent shoes without boxes, laces tied together, thrown over railings. That was kind of like how they sold shoes. In the 50s and 60s, the name changed over to Super Shoes. And in 1994, H.H. Brown, which is a subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway, bought it, and that's kind of where it went from there. They bought it because Super Shoes already carried brands like Carolina and Soft Spots, which were brands that were manufactured by H.H. Brown, and they wanted to have some more control in their distribution. So they bought it to kind of work on that, and there's about 10 stores. And in 2001, they bought the Dexter outlets, which were in Maine and New Hampshire, and some of those stores that sold only Dexter, we converted into Super Shoe stores. And so now we've stretched 43 stores from Maine to Virginia. So we have 8 states. We're the first, Martinsburg is the first store in West Virginia. We're hoping to expand that a little bit in the next few years. So obviously it's changed from the shoelaces tied together, thrown over a rail, to more of a self-serve, not a huge big box store, but you can kind of look for yourself, and there's obviously employees to help you, but you can functionally everywhere. So this store alone, we've opened or relocated 3 stores, which is really neat. We have a new store in Charlottesville and Amsterdam, New York, as well as the Martinsburg store, which is a brand new location. So at the table we were talking about why we picked Martinsburg. Not only is Martinsburg in Berkeley County, which you guys know is the fastest growing county in West Virginia. There's a lot of new growth happening. You have the new Commons Center up on the hill, Exit 12. People are really looking at Martinsburg and seeing obviously some growth potential. People from Washington are moving out here. People from Hagerstown are moving here because it's cheaper to live here. So there's a lot of population growth here. So we had looked at Ranson originally as the newer shopping center out there, had a good space for us, but then Famous Footwear moved in, and we don't really want to put Super Shoes and Famous Footwear right next to each other. So when we found the Schulz building, we're like, this is perfect. It's smaller for our stores, but it's good square footage. It's in a great location of town where shoe department, Finish Line are in the mall, but there's no larger shoe store in the middle of Martinsburg and up. So we're like, this is awesome. Great location for where we wanted our business to be. Martinsburg is also really important because it kind of connects our shipping lines from West Virginia, from West Virginia connect Maryland and Virginia. So when we do store transfers, or we have like store to stores where you can walk into our Super Shoe store, and if they don't have the shoe size that you need, you can go up to an associate and say, hey, can you order this in a size 7 for me and ship it to the store so I can try it on and make sure it fits? You can do that. So it keeps shipping costs down, where you don't have to ship all of this huge spider web if it's just one giant straight line up from Maine to Virginia. Martinsburg also really fit our target market. We are a needs-based kind of shoe company. We sell, the black and brown everyday shoes as well as athletic shoes, but we really make our bread and butter on work boots. We sell a ton of work boots, a lot of nurses' clothing, nurses' shoes. So we look for places to move into. We look for tertiary markets that have a certain threshold of income in each house, and as well as a large medical facility and a great place for blue-collar workers that are going to need some boots. So that's really why we picked Martinsburg, was because it kind of fit all of our needs, and it was great because it connected everything. And because there wasn't really a shoe store like us in the area, which was a really great opportunity. We looked at Winchester, but there's obviously a ton of shoe stores in Winchester already, so we wanted a place that we could really dominate what we kind of went in, which we've been doing really well so far in our store. We've had really great success. It opened with a boom, huge sales, a lot of people rolling in, which was really great. And I'll talk about how we got people kind of coming in a little bit later. So when we went into Martinsburg Market and we knew it was going to open, we kind of created a strategy of we wanted to create buzz in the area before we even opened the doors. So as soon as we could, we got the sign up on the side of the facade, so that way it would spark interest, like, oh, Super Shoes, what is that? Start kind of looking around, looking into it either on social media or through our website. We did a coming soon sale flyer. We drop a lot of sale flyer inserts in newspapers and like Red Plum, which are those coupon things that come to your house. So we do a lot of print marketing. And so we created a series of coming soon, now open, look out for this, here's what we carry, sale flyers, put them in newspapers, and that really created a lot of buzz in the area about what we were going to carry. We also did some Facebook advertising, which is what I actually got to do. We started about 6 to 8 weeks before the store even opened, and just put a little Facebook ad on the side of anybody's page for Martinsburg, about 10 miles out, that said, coming soon to Route 9, your old Courthouse Square, Super Shoes. Huge success. I think Martinsburg is our #2 location, the people that we have on Facebook now, which is really awesome because it's a couple thousand people in Martinsburg like Super Shoes on Facebook, which is pretty significant, which is really great on how we create a social buzz about it. We did a lot of, we did an event like the grand opening event. We did some other fun things to get people really excited about the store coming. One of the reasons why Super Shoes is so successful is because it is a locally based company. It's partnered in, it's based in Hagerstown, and our accounting office is over in Cumberland, Maryland. So everything's really local. Most everybody that's in like the higher positions, like the vice president, president, the marketing director, they all started working at Super Shoes when they were like 16 or 17. So all 4 of our big guys have been there for years. I think combined, all of them, they have 120 years experience between the 4 of them just in Super Shoes or in Dexter. So our leadership knows our company, which is really important to why we've done so well, is because they recognize our customer, they recognize the great locations to be in, because they've been doing it for so long. Another great thing about Super Shoes is we stuck to our original business model. We didn't change, we didn't try to chase after either fashion trends that were really far out there. We just kind of stuck to the basic stuff that everybody needs, that when the recession hit, those were actually our best years through the 08 to 11 recession. So we were actually really able to profit off of how the economy went through a downturn because people weren't shopping for those frivolous, pretty shoes anymore. They wanted the basic ones that hold up for a long time. We also play a really cool waiting game when we look for locations that we want to go into, and then we wait for certain places to open up. So we have our eye on a few other places that are pretty neat that we want to go into, but we're waiting for the right space to come along. We don't just put stores in areas to expand our store count. We actually really look forward to what's going to be a great location, what's going to really help us. Is this market right for us? A lot of other bigger stores are just trying to fill up their store count, putting them in every city possible, but they're not really looking for great markets. That's one thing we've really been able to maximize on, is that we are pretty patient about looking for stores. The social media aspect is really neat. Right now our goal is to just gain a lot of fans so we have an audience to really promote to. We do that through contests all summer long. We have free Flip Flop Friday, which you enter your email address, which we get to to use for email blasts, as well as using it for marketing tool to give away a free pair of flip-flops to one person that we pick as long as they've entered. So it's really neat to be able to gain email addresses that way, gain fans. We'll do some Facebook advertising for that. And it's a really, really cheap way to get fans. Because if you think about giving away a $15 pair of sandals, but if you get 200 new fans in a day, it's kind of a really good trade-off. We also, right now, are working on a promotion called Shoe Battle, where we have people vote for their favorite one, and somebody wins the free pair of shoes, and everybody else gets a discount on the one that won. That's a really great way to get people to our website as well. So we're trying to use all the different avenues and try to merge them together. So we're not just focusing on Facebook, we're focusing on our website. It's going through a redesign process, as well as we're using Twitter. We're starting to use Pinterest, which is really neat. So we'll go to our website, and I'll pin something to a board, and maybe somebody will repin that, and somebody will repin that. And it all links back directly to our website. So when you click on that image, you go straight to our website, which is really neat. It's a really great, and again, cheap way to get people to traffic through our website. We have a pretty small marketing budget for the size company that we are, so we're looking for really cool and innovative ways to get fans to our sites, to Twitter, to Facebook. I was telling my team while sitting at that on Twitter, we're trying to think of a way to be an authority on shoes, an authority on life. So we created a hashtag, which is the pound sign followed by a word. So whenever you search that on Twitter, our name will come up. We call it super stuff. We try to find things that are really super, interesting things that people would want to retweet, maybe it could go viral, and we could really see some growth in that. We've been able to get some good followers through that as well. Trying to think of. Did
you say super stuff?
Super stuff. So it's like pound sign super stuff. So if you went to Twitter and you looked up that, you would see all of our tweets. And anybody can use that hashtag, so it's kind of creating a bigger community of people who do that as well. Let's see.
Yeah, feel free to open it up.
Yeah.
If you have questions.
So what are some examples of super stuff? Because I've noticed this sort of what you've been doing. So, I mean, how are you using that super stuff hashtag?
Okay. So on Mother's Day, Mother's Day was on Sunday and it wasn't in the office, but I was able to schedule some tweets. And I tweeted about really super things that related to moms, like Mr. Rogers' sweaters were all knitted by his mother. And so I used the hashtag Mother's Day, which was already trending on the side of Twitter. There's things that pop up that everybody's talking about. So I used the hashtag Mother's Day because that was already trending. I used our super stuff hashtag. So if anybody clicked on the Mother's Day hashtag, they would see one of our tweets. So I did some other things, like the oldest mother to give birth was like 70 years old or something. And so just some cool ways to think of really neat things that people were like, wow, really? Like that's true? And so just trying to create fun things for people to see. We want our Facebook and Twitter to be really lighthearted, really fun. People don't want to feel burdened by things. And most importantly, on Facebook, people don't want to feel sold to. A good example is you don't walk into a bar and have the person sit next to you and be like, all right, do you want to buy something? No, you kind of just want to go there and enjoy your time. When you go to Super Shoes Facebook, you want to go and enjoy your time and not feel like they're constantly bombarding you with, promotional things or advertisements or, sales. We want to be able to enjoy our content, pictures. We try to post fun things. I'll go next door, put on a pair of shoes and take a picture and be like, love these shoes. And we've sold some shoes just based off of pictures that we put on the internet. They're like, we want to buy these shoes. What link can we get to buy them? So we've done a few things like that. Yes?
Amanda, you talked about pinning things.
Yes.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Can you
about
Pinterest?
Yeah.
Pinterest is
Gotta download the app.
Yeah. I'm not even Twittering yet, so I'm like, I'm back in the last century.
Anybody else not know what Pinterest is?
Explain that, because it's really
okay. So Pinterest is an online idea board, where it's kind of just like a giant note board where you can pin things that you find all over the web, which are images connected to websites. So say somebody liked a pair of shoes from our website, you can click the pin it button and it'll pin directly to your Pinterest board, and you can create boards for all different activities. Maybe you like certain recipes, you go to cooks.com, you're like, this looks great for dinner tonight, I'll pin it, and that way you can come back to it. It's almost like bookmarking it on the internet.
Because if you click on the picture,
it takes you back to the website.
Yes.
Which is the brilliant part of it.
And what's happening with me on it is when I develop my boards, people go in there and they like something and they, oh, you're the one that created that. So then they get to be communicating with you on your interests.
Yes. So it's all based off of interest boards where, there's a whole bunch of different categories. There's women's apparel, there's, humor, there's, lifestyle shots, things like that, that it's really become a really great way for us to market.
For recipes, for quotes, for, like you said, for magazines, all of that.
Yeah,
is
it's
in there now.
endless. It was actually created by an architecture student because he wanted to put a whole bunch of cool building designs together on one board, and it kind of exploded into this crazy craft, do-it-yourself, funny, quote, fun thing.
It's a play on the word pin and interest.
Yes.
So it's Pinterest.
Pinterest, you can pin things.
Do you have a group of people in Hagerstown who do all this? Because I imagine that's extremely time consuming.
It's just me.
So okay, so that's
my
what
job.
you
I
do.
get to, yeah, I
That's
And
what she
so-
gets paid to do.
Yes.
Well, I was just wondering if that was the case. But so you are the computer expert here.
Not computer expert. I spent a
Social
lot of
The
time
media.
on
marketing
social media.
expert.
A little bit.
For the-
I'm still learning too. It changes all the time. So Facebook's always releasing new updates and all sorts of
And can
things.
you, how long does it, is there someone that tracks how effective that is?
Yeah, with all of our Facebook advertising, we can look and see how many people clicked on it, how much we paid for each click, how many impressions we made, how many times they saw it before they clicked on it.
Right.
Facebook has a really great tracking system, so you can see where exactly all of your ads were. You can track it by demographic as well. So,
Sure you're getting a lot of feedback on that?
yeah, our Facebook advertising has been very
And
good.
that also helps you decide which items to keep, which ones to order more of, and all that sort of thing?
Not necessarily. We don't do, that's mostly through our buying department. We have a system called Culbertson, which is what all of our computer systems, all of our inventory systems run on, and they have really great analytics that they can track and see, this season, did this sandal sell through, or did it stay on the shelves? What was the average price that they bought it for? So that's kind of how they track the inventory for.
So let's say if you have 10,000 people that do hits on your website, does that translate to maybe 100 visitors into your store, or how does that work?
We've been able to track a lot of our Facebook effectiveness through coupons. We will create the same coupon and send one out through an email blast and one out through a Facebook post. And we'll see how much we can get back. We haven't had a huge response with it yet because we haven't done it too many times, but for the things that we've done, we've had a really good success for.
So how many weeks have you had that open?
We've been really enforcing our Facebook for about a year and 3 months now.
Oh.
So we've given out like 3 or 4 coupons over the past year, and we've just recently started the tracking between email blasts and Facebook to see which is more effective in terms of sending out coupons and deals. Like which are people reading more, which are people acting more on.
On your shoe lines, are any of them made in the United States still? And also, do you market directly to businesses, for example, to hospitals and nursing homes to move your nursing shoes? And
Okay, that's a great question. Carolina, which is one of the brands that H.H. Brown produces, they have a factory up in Altoona, near Altoona. It's called Martinsburg, Pennsylvania. And we got to go a few weeks ago, and it is a legitimate all-American shoe factory. They make boots, they do everything. They ship in the leather, and from there, everything is created in this, couple thousand square foot factory. It's sewn, it's glued, it's, the soles are created, the laces are put in, all the little eyelets, everything's done there. So we have 9 or 10 styles of Carolina boots that are manufactured in the U.S. New Balance, which is one of our biggest vendors, they make some things in the U.S. Builds a couple other shoe companies, but mostly everything is done in China now. And that's industry-wide, so it's not just us. But we do try to keep a focus on, we do maintain some American product, and when we do, we put little tags on that say made America and make sure we highlight it for them. And in terms of marketing to businesses, we have this really great program called in-house accounts. So we'll go to a hospital and say, if you buy directly from us, we'll give you a 10% discount if you send all of your employees to us. So that's become a really great venture for us because not only are we getting loyalty, we're keeping customers, and when they turn over new workers, we get those as well. And previous workers, they shop for their families, and we've been able to get some really good response off of that. We also have a loyalty program, so you get a coupon, a barcode on the back of it. We track all your purchases, so we'll send you coupons based on some of the purchases you make. If you buy work boots, you might get a work boot coupon. If you're a nurse and you buy nurses scrubs, then you'll get coupons that are applicable to you. So we have a couple other brands that we create directly. We have the Nursemaid's clothing line for nurses. One of the buyers that works in my office actually goes up to New York every few months and goes to print shows and picks out prints and tweaks colors and ships it to China, and they make her a custom line of nursing scrubs that we carry, which is really neat. She gets to name them all. If this butterfly's not in the right place, she can tell you to move it over half an inch, and they can do that. So it's really great to see really customized clothing made like that. Yes.
Before the company decided to move to Martinsburg, was a marketing study done, and Martinsburg met certain criteria? They said, yes, there's a niche vacuum, we can fill it in, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we have a guy that actually travels around and looks at different places, and it's his responsibility to go through studies, to go through household income, what percentage of workers are blue collar, what kind of medical facilities nearby that we can market to nurses. So there's one guy whose job is primarily just to go seek out new places to market towards, and he does all the finding of the locations. We were really lucky when Schul's moved across the street. We could take their old building. So.
I'm familiar with your location in Martinsburg, in Hagerstown, which is, for lack of a better word, a nice strip mall.
Yes.
And the location you've chosen in Martinsburg, similar. In other words, not the big box, where you've got the Macy's or the Bon-Tons or the Sears anchor store. Is that what you usually do?
We have about 3 or 4 stores that are actually in malls or outlet centers, but the rest of them are all in strip malls. Or in the north, they're actually in log cabins. Dexter, they're
log cabin.
One of their marketing points was to make everything look a little rustic, and so they would take these
Next to the Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, they're up in like Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, all of those. A lot of them. One of them was an old bank that they converted into a log cabin by gluing a whole bunch of wood to the outside, and they're a lot smaller because when we took them over, they already owned the buildings, so we didn't lose investment by having to sell those and go to bigger locations where we'd be paying more towards each square foot. So we kept them. They're a little bit smaller, but they're log cabins up north, and in the south. The original 10 stores were owned by the original company that started it way back in the early 1900s. So the Smith family, they own a bunch of buildings in the Mid-Atlantic area. And so all of our stores are primarily the same in the south. We try to do strip centers. We don't do too many malls, but if that's the best location in town, then we'll obviously go to a mall. But for the most part, they're outside of malls, outside of outlet centers, and strip centers are primarily where we go to.
I think that's good because I think those neighborhood kinds of places really need solid businesses. Also, it means that you're reusing space that's already built,
Yes.
Rather than going out and building your own brand new store.
I don't know if we've actually even constructed any of our own stores. We've gone in and redone a lot of them, but I don't think we've ever built one from the ground up that I can tell.
So, going back to Facebook, so the appeal then of Facebook is you can actually tell Facebook, okay, these are the people we want to market to, and you can actually give them their criteria. So, for example, I might meet your criteria. I live within a certain miles of Martinsburg. So you can actually tailor that. That's the appeal of Facebook to a company like yours, right?
Yeah, Facebook is really great in terms of choosing demographics. You can go down to marital status, age, location. You can put in interests that they might be interested in. So say somebody, that we're marketing hiking boots towards somebody, we can put in, 18 to 40 male, lives within 50 miles of Martinsburg and enjoys hiking, outdoor activities, and it'll give us a set number of people. So it's actually kind of creepy and invasive how.
Now we know what's
That's-
really happening on
So
Facebook.
if you notice, like, a lot of the ads are usually really tailored
Right.
towards you.
Scarily.
They really are.
Scarily, yes.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it.
I don't get any, I must be safe. But
You
doesn't
also
Google
advertise the people?
Yeah, we're gonna start doing that once our website is, it's going through a process right now where we have a media lab up in Massachusetts that's run by H.H. Brown, and they're trying to modernize a little bit, kick out a few kinks that we've had. And when we do that, we'll definitely start using AdWords, which is by Google. We have in the past, but it was kind of on standstill now until we can get our website working really, really well. So.
Yeah, you don't want to do it unless it goes someplace and moves.
Right.
Well, we have a promise to get everybody out by 1, but we hope we're going to invite Amanda back, because in the fall we're going to do a lunch on social media and businesses. And as you can see, Amanda has a wealth of experience in this area, and I think it's a fascinating topic for business people. Something that, from your company down to, local proprietor.
Yes.
So, thank you very much,
Yeah,
Amanda.
of course.